You know, Gundam GQuuuuuuX is good, but sometimes something random will just happen like this. You know, why am I wearing this? What's happening? What's going on? You know, you'll be asking all these random questions, but they won't really ever get answers, you know? What's up guys, it's your boy ZJ Time, back at it again with another super exciting video. And today guys, I want to go over my thoughts on Gundam GQuuuuuX. Now, just to let you guys know, this video might go into light spoilers about Gundam GQuuuuuX. So if you haven't seen the show just yet, maybe step out of this one. But if you have seen the show or you don't care about spoilers, definitely stay to watch. I just recently finished watching Gundam GQuuuuuX for my first time, and I have a lot to say about the series. I have a lot of good things to say about the series, but I also have a lot of sort of negative things to say about the series. First off, let's go through all the positives and the things that I loved about Gundam GQuuuuuX, because even though the series is getting very mixed reviews, I still think that there's a lot amazing about this series. First thing I absolutely loved about Gundam GQuuuuuX was the aesthetic of the show. I think that the aesthetic of Gundam GQuuuuuX is one of the best aesthetics of a Gundam show I've seen in a while. I absolutely love all the bright, vibrant colors and just the world that this show is set in. I think it's so cool the way that they designed a lot of the characters like Nian, Machu, Shalia Ball. They all have this really cool, unique flair. I mean, especially Shinju too. He's got a really unique flair that I love. All these characters have such cool designs that it really hooks you and it makes you want to keep watching the show because you want to learn more about these characters. But yeah, I absolutely love the aesthetic of this show. The character design, the mobile suit design is really amazing. I've even gotten a couple of the model kits already. I got here the GQuuuuuuX itself. I don't know if you guys can see that there. Built this thing up, and this kit is just an absolute beast. The model kit design from Gundam GQuuuuuX is just amazing. Here's another one, Sugai's Gelgook. Don't absolutely love this redesign of the Gelgook, but I still think that it's an amazing model kit and a really great design. I also have the red Gundam, but I have not built that one yet, so I won't be showing it. But yeah, like I said, the aesthetic of the characters, the world, and the mobile suit design of this show is absolutely amazing. It gets like a 9 out of 10 for aesthetic for me. Another thing I love about Gundam GQuuuuuX is the characters. I think the characters are designed amazingly. I loved Machu, I love Nian, I love Shalia Ball. All the characters kind of gave you mystery and intrigue, and you wanted to learn more about these characters. This will lead us into a negative part of the show that I'll bring back up later in the video. But I liked the characters. The characters were all very likable, even though they weren't that deep. They didn't give you a lot of flashbacks from the characters. Some of them you didn't even really feel like you knew by the end of the show. But one character I did absolutely love was Shalia Ball. This guy is so funny, so cool in this show. And they gave him some cool backstory, which I think is much needed. And I would have loved to see more of the backstory that Shalia Ball got for a lot of the other characters in the show. I think it would have been amazing. Another thing that Gundam GQuuuuuX did amazing was the mobile suit combat in this show was so great. A lot of great fight scenes. The action in this show was absolutely amazing. I think that they did this really well. The animation in the fight scenes is really great. And there's lots of cool battles and battle scenes. So the action is definitely here for those of you who come to a Gundam show for action. You're definitely going to get that in this one. Now that we've gone through everything that Gundam GQuuuuuX does really well, I want to get into kind of the things where it falls short a bit. Gundam GQuuuuuX, well, I absolutely love the character design and how the characters are likable themselves. The characters do not get a lot of backstory in Gundam GQuuuuuX, especially Machu and Nian. By the end of the show, all we really know is that Nian doesn't fit in anywhere, and Machu just has kind of got a rebel attitude to her. She kind of goes against the grain. I would have loved to see individual backstories about these characters that really flesh out more of their histories and why they got this way, what led them to become this way, where Nian came from, you know, Machu's, you know, more of Machu's maybe school life, so we can understand why she's got this rebel attitude and she's fiery and feisty. I would have absolutely loved to see more of this in Gundam GQuuuuuX. That leads me to my next negative point, is which sometimes storytelling in Gundam GQuuuuuX can be very all over the place. I remember watching this with one of my friends. We both were kind of dumbfounded at how storytelling and the pacing was kind of all over the place. Sometimes you would be thinking it was going to go one way, and then it would totally turn a 180 on you in an unexpected direction that didn't always make the most sense. Also, sometimes characters would slide in really quickly in and out of this show. You'd be introduced to a character one episode just for them to either disappear or get completely killed off the next episode. I think that some of that was done just for callbacks to the old original series, which callbacks and Easter eggs are always fun in a show, but I like them to have more meaning. When you see a character from the original Gundam show in new, fresh animation, you want to see him for more than, 5 minutes on screen. You want to see them, have a little bit more of a role in the show. I think that that would have been awesome for more of these characters that get introduced in the earlier episodes. Have a little bit more of a role in the overall show, I think that would have been really cool. That brings me to my next point in saying that I think Gundam GQuuuuuuX needed to be longer. I think this needed to be a 24 episode show so that they could give us more of those backstories on all these characters and give us more of the characters from the older show, give us more of the characters that they called back to, more of the Easter eggs, more of everything, That's really one of the biggest problems with Gundam GQuuuuuuX is I feel like it doesn't give you that time to really get invested in anything. It's moving so quickly that you kind of get lost in the sauce a bit, If this thing was 24 to 26 episodes, they could have done more and shown us more of the 1 year war, shown us more of Char. I would also have liked to see more of Char in this show. You see Char in the beginning of the show, and then he has a callback episode later in the series. But where Char is for the whole show is kind of this giant mystery, and it kind of just all gets explained in 3 minutes, just in a super short explanation that they kind of just throw on you. I'm not going to say anything about it, but if you know, you know. Char disappears for the whole show, and it's this really cool mystery of where's Char, what's he doing, and then bam, like that, Char's just back, and this is where he was, and it's all supposed to make sense. But it's kind of just a little bit, in my opinion, of a cop-out in the storytelling. I would have liked to really seen where Char was, maybe a little bit more hints at what he was doing. Not for him to just pop back in, 1 episode before the show's gonna end, and bang, this is what he was doing the whole show. I think that that was kind of unrewarding for me for the mystery of where Char was, which I was really intrigued about for the first couple episodes. Another problem I had with this show is the whole character development of Shinju. This guy really doesn't have any character development, and unless we get a second season of this show, basically we don't really know who Shinju was. All we have is theories, but there's really no definitive answer. I definitely would have liked to get more of Shinju's backstory instead of just, Char explaining it to us for 5 seconds. Would have liked more of Shinju's backstory. I think that would have been cool to see. Like I said, the pacing is a little whack job in this show, guys. Sometimes you have no clue what's going on. Like, Gundam GQuuuuuuX can be enjoyable to watch, but sometimes you'll just get like a random thing thrown at you, I feel like. And then you have like 1,000 more questions than you already did while you were watching it. And at the end of the day, guys, that's really the problem with Gundam GQuuuuuuX. Sometimes it just tries to be a little too deep for only being 12 episodes long. It has so many questions that it doesn't give you answers to. Whether it be about the characters, whether it be about the mystery of the universe that it's in. All these things make you like the show but hate the show at the same time. You want the show to answer these questions, but they never really do. And it leaves you a little bit confused and wanting more. But like I said, guys, at the end of the day, even though I have a lot of grievances with Gundam GQuuuuuuX, I still really enjoyed the show. I think it's got major pacing issues, but at the end of the day, it's still a good show, and I think it's worth it to watch for any Gundam fans. I'd still give it about an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed the show, and I'm gonna get most of the model kits because I love the mobile suit design, and the aesthetic of this show is one of the best for any Gundam show I've seen in a while. But anyways, guys, I needed to get that off my chest about Gundam GQuuuuuuX. But that's it for my thoughts and my review of Gundam GQuuuuuuX, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen Gundam GQuuuuuuX? If so, what were your thoughts on it? I really want to know that down below. But if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button for more Gundam and anime content. And until next time, stay safe and have a great day.